Coming to you live from the KDWN studios on South Durango, Pawn Talk Live. Hosted by the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney, and the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas, Michael Mack. Call in at 257-5396. That's 257-5396. And find out what your valuables are worth from the top expert in the pawn industry. Now, Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
And welcome to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, Michael Mack. And we just kind of continue this fun over from Live Las Vegas. Great show. Tammy Grable from Las Vegas Woman Magazine sticking around a little bit, too. And, Michael, here we are, Friday again, 2 o'clock, Pawn Talk Live. Big show for us today because, as we said earlier in Live Las Vegas, it's heating up outside, over 100 degrees, which means that as the temperatures start to rise, deals start to happen at Max Pawn. Now, I'll let you tell us about that, but let's do this, Angie. Let's cue up our first prize wheel. Get it started right at the top.
And now, it's time to get lucky with the Max Pawn prize wheel.
Yeah, that's right. Dave Woolery here for the Max Pawn prize wheel. And give us a call, 702-257-5396, 702-257-5396. All of our callers today are going to be winners, Michael. We've got pairs of tickets to 3 great shows over at the LVH, along with a host of stuff inside the Max Pawn treasure chest. So what have you gotten this week? What have you added into the Max Pawn treasure chest?
Well, we have all kinds of great giveaways. Of course, we have DVDs, we have movies, we have bracelets, what are those little
power balance bracelets?
Bracelets.
That's right.
And
keep the
we
power.
have music, all different types of items that were given to us by Beasley. And I have to speak about Beasley real quick. We had the Beasley open house last night. Dave and I and Tammy all attended. What a great event. What a great station. But more importantly, what a great family. The whole Beasley family is here. In big corporate America, and I think it was mentioned last night, you see it over and over again, big corporate America is taking over. Well, this is really a success story for family business.
Yeah, you got
all
that right.
All the way down to 2 brothers, the dad, the matriarch, the patriarch of the family, and they're all so humble and all so loving. And you can see why Beasley Broadcast, where we sit today, is such a success. And I really want to thank everyone who's been so kind to us, Pawn Talk Live in Las Vegas. And we really do feel like we're part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great time. And I think, basically all the luminaries in Las Vegas were at this mixer last night. Great time to be had by all. I did not exactly wake up on the right side of the bed this morning. Let me tell you what, I had a little bit too much fun. But that's what these things are about. And again, here on the show today, we're going to have a ton of fun. Not only are we going to be giving away prizes throughout the show, and I know we've got our first winner online with us, but we're also going to be taking your questions about stuff that you may have in your attic. Maybe it's something in your garage. Maybe it's an item that was passed down to you from grandma, from grandpa, from your mother or father, and you want to know what it's worth. 4th generation pawnbroker Michael Mack here with us to give you an evaluation of your item. Now, Michael, there's a big difference in pawning and buying stuff. Give us that real quick.
Well, Dave, before we do that, I'm going to throw one more element. I want to hear a good, bad, or ugly story.
There you go.
If you've had an experience with a pawn shop, a buy and sell store, we want to hear about it. And maybe you want to brag about someone who you've done business with. And we love to hear all those great stories as well. But we want to hear maybe something that maybe we could help with in a potential story that you have that we could maybe turn around as well. But, the difference between loaning, pawning, which are 2 synonymous words. When you pawn something, you're getting a loan against it. That means you're going to have the ability to pick it up. So when we give you a loan or a pawn, we loan you a percentage value of what the item is worth, and with the intentions you're going to come back and get it. A lot of people use the word pawn when they walk in the store. They say, I want to pawn this. And they think they're using this big fancy word. And they think they're getting rid of it using that word because they're walking into a pawn shop. So that's probably the most confusing of what people think. Pawn is not to sell. Pawn is to get a loan on. And when you sell something outright, you're selling it and you are rightfully giving up your ownership.
Right. Okay. Well, again, the number to reach us here in studio, 702. At darn 702-257-5396.
You're going to have to get over it. Just accept it.
Yeah, no, I'm not accepting that. 702-257-KDWN. Got Joe Perlman on the line with us. Joe, congratulations. You're our first winner here on our Max Pawn prize wheel. How you doing today, bud?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, Joe, you're on with Michael Mack, fourth-generation pawnbroker. Do you have any experience, Joe, in pawn shops? Have you ever had to go to a pawn shop? Have you ever used one, bought something, or even sold something?
Yeah, I bought some mechanical stuff, some tools and things in the past from some pawn shops.
What was your experience, Joe, of the pawn shop in general? I mean, did you feel that it was a positive buying experience, or did you think that there was some room for improvement?
Oh, no, I'd saved some money on equipment. I've bought in tools in the past that I've really scored some pretty good deals on.
Excellent. Well, Joe, you're obviously our first winner here today on the show. The number to reach us again is 702-257-5396. And, Joe, you've got your choice of tickets to either the LVH's Raiding the Rock Vault, great show, Trent Carlini's The King, or Mosaic. And now you can also grab something out of the Max Pawn prize wheel, Max Pawn treasure chest. But which of these tickets you want us to set aside for you, Joe?
Oh, I guess that rock show sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Now, just to be, full disclosure, this Raiding the Rock Vault, we have been told, is a loud show. This isn't a lounge show. I mean, these guys crank up the amps, really go to 10, and put on a raucous performance. So if you're ready for that, we've got your tickets, and we'll handle that off air. Angie, our board op, will take care of you, okay?
Oh, great. Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe. And again, the number to reach us here live in studio today, 702-257-5396. And all of our callers are going to be winners. Not only are they going to be able to take a choice of tickets, but also go down to the store and grab something out of the Max Pawn treasure chest. Now, Michael, before we take any more winners, though, I want to get this week's gold report, which is going to be featured on the Coyote 102.7 FM a little bit later on this evening. But for the listeners here on KDWN, what are we looking at this week?
Well, Dave, as we do each week and each Friday, we're mentioned this week on the Coyote throughout the day. But the precious metals market has taken a little bit of a slip. We were as high as $1,300 an ounce, and we dropped down to $1,292 at close today. And the reasoning for it is the declining jobless claims, which is good news for the economy and positive news for the U.S. economy. But with that also strengthens the cut for demand of haven investments, and we call gold and precious metal haven investments because they're hard investments that you can put away, you can take anywhere in the world, and you can cash them in. So it's good news for our economy. I think it's a stable. The precious metals are stable. Gold closed at $1,292, silver at $1,942, and platinum at $1,449. I think everyone knows that those are the big numbers, but more importantly, there's 31.1 grams in an ounce. So when you're selling your gold, there's a percentage for every type of gold, whether it's 14, 18, 22. 14 karat is 58% pure, 10 karat is 42%, and 22 karat is 90%. So you get percentage values. Based on 14 karat, you should be getting anywhere from $17 to $22 per gram if you're to sell your gold. So if you have questions, you can always call Max Pawn. We think that there's some great stores out there, and you have multiple choices between pawn shops and buy and sells. But if you do have questions, up-to-date precious metal pricing, call us at 702-253-7296.
Yeah, that's great stuff. And, you brought up a great point here that, the job market continues to show some real gains. And as that happens, we're starting to see, like you mentioned, these precious metals take a dip, but platinum has remained really strong, Michael. Would you say that at this point, platinum is the safest buy on the market? If you're going to lay out the investment, would platinum be the safest bet here?
Dave, I think you've heard me say it over and over again. Silver's
okay.
A buy. When you can buy a 1 ounce coin for under $20, you can stack up quite a few for $1,000 and feel a fluctuation of 5 or 10%. And feel, an investment growth quicker. Where, if you buy one coin at $1,300, you have a lot of risk in it and you can't move it as fast.
Now, let's talk about the gold thing here, because, obviously silver, a great buy, right around, $19, $20 an ounce. But, gold has been what we have long held as the standard bearer, okay, for our precious metals. Even more than platinum, more than diamonds, gold is the standard bearer for precious metals. And with gold kind of hovering in and around 1,300 fairly consistently, Michael, for about the last year, since we came down off of our highs of 1,800 nearing 2,000, do you think there's ever going to be a time when gold spikes back up and regains that $1,800, $1,900 an ounce price point?
Dave, I haven't, as you know, I don't make those predictions on the marketplace because they're not following traditional trends. Typically, the precious metals follows the economy, the world economies. We've seen an upheaval in certain parts of the country. You feel, what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. We felt, people going for those haven investments. And so I am not a fond believer that I think that it's going to go to 2,000. I think we're in good shape to stay steady. But just hang tight. And I always say, if you can't afford to hang on to it, sell it if you made a nice profit. And if you need to hang on and you can save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, you talk about Russia, man. That's having a whole big impact here. And to take the words out of Justin Timberlake's mouth here, Crimea River. Okay, we're going to have to take a break here on Pod Talk Live. When we come back, we're going to be talking about collectibles and your chance to get online with us here and talk about your collectibles. Stay with us here on Pod Talk Live.
And at 2:15 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, a couple of new accidents on US 95 southbound at Las Vegas Boulevard. Look out for some excessive debris in that one. South 95, that's at Craig, also in the early stage. Lake Mead at Rainbow, that one's been there for a while. Spring Mountain at the 15 interchange. Also Decatur at Desert Inn and Rainbow at Robindale. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
If you're looking to lower your mortgage payments and been turned down elsewhere, you need to listen to Mortgage Makeovers with Ken Michaels this Sunday from 6 to 7 a.m. Mortgage Makeovers with Ken Michaels here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Frank here with Frank's European Service, and I'm proud to bring you the KDWN Auto Tip of the Week. At Frank's European Service, it's our mission to provide the best European automotive repair and service experience in Las Vegas, and that includes helping you stay informed. This week's tip is preventative maintenance. It's a good time to check your owner's manual, see what fluids might be due to be changed. Perhaps your brake fluid's ready for service, or your engine coolant's due to be changed. This is a good time to get it done before your shops get busy this summer, because we all know how hard it is to get your car in a shop when there's all the cars breaking down or air conditioning failures or radiator failures. Tune in to KDWN at 4:30 on Saturdays for Frank's Car Care Tips, where we discuss anything and everything automobile related and answering all of your automotive questions. If you have a question, visit us on the web at frankseuropeanservice.com or stop by one of our Valley locations at 1931 North Rainbow or 704 West Sunset Road in Henderson.
Hi, this is Michael Mack, owner of world-famous Mack's Pawn in Las Vegas. You ever wondered what those valuables are worth? Had a pawn question but didn't know who to ask? I have the solution for you. Join me and Dave Carney every Friday from 2 to 3 for Pawn Talk Live here on News Radio 720 KDWN.
All right, welcome back here to Pawn Talk Live. News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney joined by Michael Mack. Tammy Grable still hanging out in studio with us. And guys, on the other side of this break, we were talking about gold really not taking the strong stance that it had a couple of years back and probably not going back there. And with that being said, Michael, you look at some of these haven investments. What would you say is maybe a smarter haven investment right now? I mean, obviously you're not a financial planner per se, but working with the collateralized loan business that you do, what else is really kind of holding a lot of value? Is it guns?
Well, firearms have always held value, and there was a little craze over the last few years with the gun advocates and the gun control folks trying to do their thing. So, guns have held value, but I don't look at them as an investment. I think diamonds have always been solid. If you can investment-grade diamonds, GIA certified diamonds, which we do carry at Max Pawn and we have access to, if you buy a diamond right and you hang on to it, it's a commodity, Tammy, that we can go to Vietnam or we can go to Israel or we can go to Russia, and we can sell that commodity anywhere in the world at a universal price, and that's what's great about gold. The hard thing about silver is you got to carry a lot of it to make it worthwhile. So you got to take several suitcases, but you could take a small satchel of diamonds and go across the world and cash in.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, that sounds like fun. It's kind of like a heist movie, right? You're shaking out, I can just see him, what is his name from Godfather, the Goodfellas, shaking out his wife's hair, finding all the diamonds in there. It brings forth just a lot of great images, conjures up a wonderful thought. What we're going to do right now, though, Michael, we're going to jump into our Collector's Corner.
Ever wondered what your treasures are worth? Find out now on the Collector's Corner.
All right, Michael, here we are inside the Collector's Corner. Gotta love that music. So very authentic and, professional. And listen to that. Full symphony orchestra.
Is Angie doing that?
I was
going
to say, that's Angie behind the boards doing a great job.
Doing a great job.
And she also plays the violin. That's great. We got to have you. We got to have you on the show one time to play the violin. Give us a little concerto. The phone lines are open here for your calls at 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-KDWN. Get online with us. Michael Mack, fourth generation pawnbroker, can help you evaluate any of the items that you may have. Now, again, all of our callers today are going to be winners. We've got pairs of tickets to LVH shows, Raiding the Rock Vault, Trent Carlini's The King, and Mosaic, and we've still got stuff down at Max Pawn inside the treasure chest. So give us a buzz, 702-257-5396, and tell us about your collectibles, and maybe you will also come up with something that's even more collectible. I don't know. If you go to that show and you find out that you love that show, does that become a collectible too? I guess you really can't collect something if it's an intellectual property, right? You can feel like you own part of it. You can't necessarily collect music, can you?
Well, I'll tell you, we've seen some cool things, some records. We've seen some scripts from movies, original screenplays that we've seen over the years.
Yeah, I guess you can collect that stuff, can't you? Well, and this actually comes to us from our Facebook, Michael. We've got a couple of items that I want to ask you about and get your evaluation on. The first item that comes to us is a 1963 album, one of the best-selling albums of all time, Meet the Beatles, and this is a full album of Meet the Beatles. Apparently from our Facebook post, this is the English version, which contained 4 extra songs that the American LP did not have on it. Michael, with an album like this, a historical piece, especially such a rare historical piece, what kind of price tag would this Meet the Beatles album fetch?
Well, I'll tell you, there has been a big swing in vinyl overall. Even my kids today are going and getting vinyl records, even the new song music that's out, because it's cool to have
It sounds
vinyl,
better.
and it does sound great. I don't know if it's digitally as good as what's put out there today, but people love the 45s and the 33 records, and so depending on the condition of this album, if it's an original form, if the sleeves there, what the album itself, the condition, but you're looking anywhere from $75 to $300.
Wow.
And but there is albums out there in today's marketplace, rare albums that are hard to find, old Who albums that are fetching $750 to $1,000.
Well, yeah, and especially for the English prints of these, the ones that were done over in England before they, like I said, got over here to the States, they have these extra tracks on them, which made their ways on to the next Beatles album, because that's when artists actually produced albums more than once every 4 years. So a lot of these songs found their way on to the next albums. But with something like this, I mean, general condition that we were given here on Facebook is slightly frayed corner edges of the outside of the the outside of the sleeve. Apparently, the disc is in mint condition. It's got 0 scratch marks from where the needle was hitting it. So something like this, would you recommend, Michael, that an item such as this would be better off in consignment than, say, a straight loaner pawn?
No, I think, we're not talking thousands of dollars. Bring it down. Our team will research on the spot. You can also call us, and or you can text us a photo at 913-5626. That's 702-913-5626, and we'll get back to you right away. Dave, I'm going to put something out there that I am looking for.
Okay, good.
And I don't really ever ask our listeners.
Yeah, love to hear it.
But I'm looking for albums from the Exile on Main Street.
Oh, boy.
And I think
there
you know
go.
why.
Perfect.
But anyways, I'm looking for album covers, anything Exile on Main Street, and in a little bit later in the show, maybe we'll have Roxy on from our news store, and we'll talk about Exile. But I'm looking for Exile on Main Street. Now, this was an album that was done by the Rolling Stones back in the day when Keith Richards, I think, was having a hard time getting clearance to come back over to the United States.
Yeah, he liked himself some smack. He was just like, black tar, like it, gotta have it.
He was into some drugs that were not good, and so he wasn't allowed to come back into the States, and they rented a big castle, and that's where the album Exile on Main Street came out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, awesome new store that's going to be opening up. And we are going to be talking to Roxy Amorosa here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to get some more of your phone calls here. The Max Prize hotline is wide open, 702-257-5396. We've got Bob Christensen with us on the line. Bob, thanks for joining the program. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, guys. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing fantastic. Fun to finally be back up in 100 degrees, I sarcastically say. But, yeah, it's a great day here in Vegas. And, Bob, you've got Michael Mack, fourth-generation pawnbroker, online with you. And it looks like you have got a coin collection you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I've got all the Silver Eagles, from 86 up to 14 here. And I'm just wondering if you might give me a ballpark figure on that. They're all uncirculated coins.
I'd love to take a look at them. We can look them all up individually, but those have, of course, not only bullion value, but numismatic value. And if we can't help you, our partners at Sahara Coin, we have a great partner relationship with Sahara Coin right up the street. You can tell them that Max Pawn sent you, or Dave and Mike from Pawn Talk Live, and they'll treat you fair and give you top dollar.
Yeah, let me ask you here, Bob. When you're talking about this coin collection, are these gold? These are or these Silver Eagles?
Silver.
Okay, Silver Eagles. All right. Now, if you didn't catch our precious metals report, and I don't know if we just lost Bob on the line there, silver trading right around $20 an ounce right now. Now, Michael, are these coins all 1 ounce coins?
They're all 1 ounce coins.
All right, great. So the numismatic value plus the bullion value, you can look at something. And these American Eagles are actually really cool coins. I know a lot of people dig them.
Well, you could buy the coins anywhere from $25 to $30 a piece. But, if you were to sell them on eBay, you can get up to $50, $60 a piece. So it just depends on, the demand and the type of coin and the quality of the coin.
Absolutely. Well, Bob, hopefully you are still listening and you are a winner. You just give us a call back here, 702-257-5396. We'll hook you up with tickets through our board operator. Our next caller on the line is Mark Johnson. Mark, thanks for joining the program. How are you? All right. Well, I don't know if we've got Mark here. Mark, thanks for joining us. How are you? All right. We're going to move on from Mark. Again, guys, the number to reach is 702-257-5396, 702-257-5396. Let's jump into, okay, we've got Mark. Mark, thanks for joining us. How are you, buddy?
Good.
All right, glad we got you on here. Now, Mark, what's your question for Michael?
Okay, I got 345 M's by George Harrison.
Ooh.
And they're in the original sleeves. They were released in 1979. And one of the songs is called This Is Love. And then the other side is Breath Away from Heaven. And the other 45 is Writing on the Wall. And the other side is All Those Years Ago.
Okay, so Mark, you've got these singles, right? So these are single 45s.
Right, yeah, and they're brand new.
Wow. That's a piece of history. Michael, I mean, we were just talking about Beatles albums we got on the Facebook page. What could these things fetch?
They could fetch anywhere from 25 to 75, and, depending on the condition, they could go all into the hundreds. We'd love to take a look at them if you could bring them down to Max Pawn.
Thank you.
And we have a great prize waiting for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. We'll take care of you on the other side of the phone here, but you've got a pair of tickets for yourself down to one of the 3 great shows at the LVH.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much. Again, the number to reach us here in studio, 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-5396. Joining us on the line now is Roxy Amorosa. Roxy, thanks for staying patient with us, staying on the line, and thanks for... okay, well, Roxy just dropped off. Well, thanks anyways to Roxy for giving us a call in, and we'll hope to talk to her again, obviously. Exile on Main Street, opening up June 3rd, Michael.
June 6th.
June 6th, okay.
First
Friday, June 6th. Now, are we going to have some party for, like, Thirsty Thursday right before that?
We're going to launch it all on Friday. So it'll be the first Friday, and we'll make it thirsty.
All right. I want a soft launch, if we're going to do that. You got to give me a place to fall down to.
It's going to be very exciting. Johnny Two Bags, guitar player for...
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure because I'm not hip enough, but I know Roxy's going to fill me in on that when she gets back on the line.
Yeah, Johnny Two Bags. I'm just thinking of a lot of different things that we could go with on that one, but fun stuff. And again, Exile, which is located on Main Street, is going to be a hip store, totally different and unique for the kinds of things that are going to be in the store. A lot of vintage clothes, new clothes that are made to look like vintage, and it looks like we've got Roxy back on the line. Roxy, thanks so much for calling. We've got about a minute here till our break. You want to talk us a little bit about this new Exile on Main Street store?
Sure. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
We are luxury, vintage, contemporary, sort of new stock, and lots of denim. So,
and Roxy, I'm so excited to be sharing this partnership with you and your husband Jesse at Cowtown Guitars. This is located at 1007 Main Street, right next to Cowtown Guitars. And the great thing, I think, is this denim thing. Tell the listeners about the denim we're going to carry, as well as the cool things you're going to be doing in the back of the house.
Sure, Michael. The denim lines that we're carrying are either made in America by hand or made internationally also by hand. It's just the different types of denim that we get in. So the Triple Works denim, for instance, comes from Japan by way of the UK, and it's loomed in Japan, and it's cut with a selve edge, which means a self edge. So when you look at the edge of the denim, it doesn't have a hem, a natural hem. It's the end of the bolt of fabric. And it's also raw denim. So
all right. Roxy, I hate to have to cut you off. We've got to take a look at traffic. Stay with us here on the line. We'll finish this story about the denim when we come back here on Pawn Talk Live.
Sure.
Hi, this is Chris Graves. I'm the event coordinator and volunteer for the Relay for Life of Las Vegas. It's the annual signature event for the American Cancer Society, where teams come out and help support the American Cancer Society by raising funds and bringing awareness to the community. We'd love for you to come out and join us. You can reach information at www.relayforlife.org and put in Las Vegas, Nevada for our event at Centennial Hills High School on May 17, 2014.
AP Update. I'm Diane Kepley. Firefighters in Southern California are slowly getting the upper hand on blazes in San Diego County.
6 fires are at 100% containment.
Despite that progress, though, 8 homes have been destroyed, along with a condo complex and several other buildings. This man watched as the flames moved through his neighborhood in Escondido.
It was pretty touch and go, and just an awesome sight when you see that fire come through, and it's just terrifying.
Our Raquel Dillon is in Escondido.
It's so hilly, and there are homes here and there at the top of ridges, at the bottom of little gullies and canyons. So they are just keeping an eye on those properties, wetting down hillside and working on containment.
Meanwhile, investigators are also trying to find out exactly what sparked all the fires. At least one was started by a spark from construction equipment. The blazes have caused $20 million in damages. AP Update. I'm Diane Kepley.
The news brought to you by the Home Depot. The Home Depot has your choice, Scott's Miracle Grow Garden Soil or Scott's Miracle Grow Potting Mix for just $6.88 each. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. See store for details.
It's 2:32 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. Got a couple of crashes on the 95 working right now. Northbound south of Las Vegas Boulevard. Also southbound 95 at Craig. Also a road hazard to Dodge 95 South. That's south of Valley View. That one's new. Lake Mead at Rainbow. Spring Mountain at the 15. Decatur at Desert End. Some possible delays in Rainbow at Robindale. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
You hear a lot of talk about gold these days. What, with the stock market and more upheaval than tumbleweeds in a tornado? The world-famous Max Pawn is your gold spot in Las Vegas. Don't just send your gold into some random TV guy for pennies on the dollars. Go where you can see what your gold is really worth and get guaranteed market rate for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Come visit the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas at the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones or online at maxpawnlv.com.
Thank you, Las Vegas, for making One Nevada the #1 banker credit union in the Review Journal's 2014 Best of Las Vegas poll. To celebrate, we're offering 15-year mortgage loans as low as 2.99%. Apply today at onenevada.org or call 702-382-4094. One Nevada is open to all Clark County and Pahrump residents. Federally insured by the NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
Stressful things during the day can keep you awake at night. Instead of sleeping, your mind is still spinning from stress. Unisom is the help you need to fall asleep. Unisom sleep tabs are a clinically proven effective OTC sleep aid. You fall asleep 33% faster by easing into your natural sleep cycle. With Unisom, you wake refreshed and ready.
Here's your morning traffic report.
Unisom. A stressful day deserves a restful night.
Use as directed. Active ingredient oxylamine succinate versus control in a clinical study.
Listen up, everybody. This is Flo with a Progressive Insurance Alert. Don't even try to change that channel. I'm on all of them. So, you already know Snapshot rewards our customers for their good driving. Well, now anyone can test drive Snapshot for free, even if you have insurance with another company. See how much you could save before you switch your insurance. Also, I'm offering kazoo lessons on Saturdays.
Test drive Snapshot today. Visit progressive.com/snapshot. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states.
Now back to Pawn Talk Live with your hosts Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
And welcome back to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN, streaming worldwide at both KDWN.com and also PawnTalkLive.com. PawnTalkLive.com kind of redirects you here to KDWN, but you can always catch up with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at PawnTalkLive.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter at DapperDaveC. Follow Michael at MaxPawn and follow the whole show at Pawn Talk Live. Now, I want to make a correction. Earlier in the program, we had some smart guy give us a little text here about what Dapper meant. I want to correct whoever this guy thought he was with his little smart comments. Dapper, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, means neat and trim in appearance, also alert and lively in movement and manners. So, there you go.
That's a great explanation.
That's right.
Tammy.
That's what I'm talking about. I just say Thank you very much, and I'm Dapper Dave C. Follow me on Twitter. It's a great follow. Not too solicitous, which I try to mix in some humor. So good stuff there. Joining us on the line here, guys, finishing up our conversation about Exile on Main Street, Roxy Amorosa. Roxy, thanks for staying on the line with us here. I know we had to cut you off. You were talking about the denim line that you guys are putting in over there at Exile. Let's finish up that real quick before I ask you about the band that's playing. Roxy, you still with us? I don't know. I think we might have lost her again. All right. Well, we're gonna see. Roxy, you still there?
Yep.
Okay, Roxy, why don't you tell us a little bit about this denim? Let's finish up that before I ask you about the band that's playing.
The denim that we're carrying is selvage or raw denim, and it ranges in weight from 12 ounces to 21 ounces, which you can basically get in a knife fight in without worrying too much. And the cool thing about this denim is you never wash it. You let it break in naturally. You let it fade naturally, and the fades happen with your own body. And it's a counterculture out there. You can Google denim heads or denim demons, and information about this sort of denim and the people that wear it comes up. It's really cool stuff.
So I'm learning about this, Dave. I'm learning about this denim thing. I'm learning about how to be cool, and through Roxy and Jesse, I'm starting to get a little bit cooler. But now tell the people you don't wash them. So how do you make them?
I was going to say they come with a free can of Axe spray or something.
No, you'd be surprised. You get your jeans, you soak them if you want them to have more of a tailored fit, and then you put them on and they start to break to your body. And every once in a while, you fold those bad boys up, and before you go to bed for the evening, you put them in the freezer.
Wow.
And freezing them to, somebody can correct me, whatever degrees normal, everyday, average kitchen freezer is set to, kills any microbes or things that would be living on your denim.
Listen, so that's how Michael is getting so cool, right? Because he's wearing ice-cold jeans. That totally makes sense now, because otherwise I didn't buy it for a second. All right, Roxy, before we let you go, tell us about the band that's playing there on your opening night, Friday, June 6th.
That's right. We have Johnny Two Bags, the guitar player from Social Distortion. He's going to be out here doing an acoustic set of originals and some covers too, I'm sure, from his album that just came out.
Wow, that's going to be fantastic. And again, Exile opening Friday, June 6th. Now, you guys are located, right in the heart of downtown. You must be very excited. This is, obviously coalescing with the first Friday celebrations that go on downtown all the time. Where can people go to find out more info on Exile before it opens here, Roxy?
They can go to exileboutique.com, or they can find us on Instagram at Exile Boutique, and they can also find us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Exile Boutique.
Man, we are so excited. This is going to be a great addition to downtown. Really looking forward to it. And I'll tell you what, I am cooler than the other side of the pillow. I'm going to come down and buy me some frozen jeans too, and some Axe spray. I'll never wash them. I'll do just like you say. I'll stop washing my hair too. I don't have any, but that makes it easier for me. Roxy, thanks so much for calling us in. We've got to take a couple of other calls here on the line.
Have a great weekend.
But we'll be looking forward to catching up with you here real soon before this opening. All right, thanks so much. Roxy Amorosa, husband Jesse Amorosa, as seen on Pawn Stars, History Channel's famous television show, and now, of course, Exile going to be opening up down on Main Street. Now, going back to our Collector's Corner here, Michael, we've got a caller that has been holding on the line for quite a while. We really appreciate it. Carrie is on with us here on Pawn Talk Live. Carrie, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Well, thanks so much for joining the program. Now, you have a coin collection, or you have a question about coins as well, it looks like. Why don't you share that with us?
Yeah, actually, two items if we can cover them. But the
Absolutely.
First is a coin die that was used to make $quarter at the Carson City Mint in 1878.
Wow.
So it's an actual die from the U.S. dollar?
No, the U.S. $quarter from Carson City. I have the verse only, the front side only, of the 1878 $quarter that was used to coin quarters at Carson City, Nevada.
Let me ask you, Kerry, how did you acquire such a cool item like this?
Oh, I acquired it years ago. It came from a garage in Carson City, actually. The dies were buried, and somebody was able to salvage one privately, and I ended up acquiring it years ago.
Well, I'd love to take a look at that. It sounds like a really unique item. We'd love to do some research. And then our friends at Sahara Coin, they have such a cool store and a lot of memorabilia as such and coin memorabilia. They may be a buyer for something like that, but first stop by, and then we'll call our friends up at Sahara Coin and send you that way.
Yeah, Carrie, with such an individual, unique item like this, and I'm sure this is probably why you're calling it. It's kind of hard to ballpark a price here, but tell us about condition with this item before you tell us about your next.
It is rough and corroded, having been buried on the sides. Although the front, the piece that used to impress the design into the $quarter, has a horizontal cancellation mark, like a big chisel mark, but the detail is seated liberty is still there. The date is rough, but you can make out the last digit, which is an 8, and that makes it an 1878.
Wow, that's
they only coin quarters for very few years.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Kerry. And obviously something like this, I mean, you want to say the sky could be the limit because of its historical value. What about your other item? What other one did you have a question for?
This is another unusual one that will be difficult. How about Tony Spilotro's wedding album?
Oh, my God, Tony Spilotro. Oh, my God, really?
Yes.
How did you – okay, listen, we know that Tony lived out here in Vegas. His wife actually used to have some fun over at the Albertsons on Flamingo. How did you come up with this wedding album?
Well, it came in directly from a family member.
No kidding. Wow. So, Kerry, we apologize if we've offended you in any way. Don't take it out on us. You're on the show. It sounds like you got some powerful family members. I mean, with something like that, Michael, I mean, you're talking about priceless. This is a museum piece. What would this fetch?
This is an item that you place on eBay, or you put it in one of these private auctions, and they have auctions through Sotheby's or Christie's or Heritage Auction that are related to, items of, mob memorabilia, museum type stuff. But I'd love to take a look. I'd like to pass that word on to a few friends that are type of collectors. I know our former mayor and was a attorney for Tony, and he may be such a buyer as something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kerry, you've got something like this. I mean, it really makes me pause for a second because it's such a Vegas historical piece that you look at this and say, wow, I mean, I wonder what this could fetch. I got to tell you, possibly one of the highest dollars that we've ever heard of here on the show. Now, hopefully what you can do is, hook up with Michael offline, off the radio show, give him an opportunity to look at these things and see what he can't find out for you.
Okay, I certainly might consider that, and I thank you very much.
Thanks so much for the call, and thanks for holding on with us, Kerry. And again, all of our callers today are big winners. Now, you've got your option of tickets down at the LVH or a free prize from the Max Bond Treasure Chest. All you have to do is go down to the store, corner of Sahara and Jones. Tell them you heard us here on the radio. Dig in, get what you got coming to you. Michael, you think about something like this, and we're going to be talking to Andy, who is an auction era expert, actually one of the founders or one of the founding members of Antiques Roadshow, about something like this. I mean, could this be, especially the photo album, could this be one of those items that can set you up if you can find the right buyer?
And it all depends on the buyer, because there's some people that have zero interest in something like that. So it is a select group, and but what history and We have one of the neatest historical venues right here in Las Vegas at the Downtown Mob Museum, and it could be a venue for something like that to be placed.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. The Mob Museum, I mean, is such a great place, first of all, to kind of view some of the history of Las Vegas, and I know that the big exhibit, and there was a great article in Las Vegas 7 magazine a couple of weeks ago, but Mo Dalitz, one of our casino pioneers, ran the Desert Inn and part of the Stardust as well. His family donated a whole bunch of items, and you look at the kind of story that gets weaved through these photos, through these personal items, and you get a sense of Las Vegas that you don't get anymore. And I tell you what, especially with a guy like Oscar Goodman, this could be sitting in his living room. I remember this guy. He was a great friend until he met an early demise. All right, guys, we're going to step aside, take our final look at traffic here on Pawn Talk Live. And when we come back, we have Andy on the line with us. Andy is an expert auctioneer for the last 30 years. Going to give us some insight into the world of auctioneering. Stay tuned to Pawn Talk Live.
And at 2:45 at the KDWN Credit Union Traffic Center, several issues to deal with on the 95 southbound at Summerlin. That's in the early stage. Southbound 95 at Rancho. North 95, that's south of Valley View. In the Resort Corridor, 15 southbound, the Sahara off-ramp affected there on the right shoulder. Westbound Summerlin Parkway at the 215. Also collisions Lake Mead west of Rainbow and Pecos McLeod at Twain. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Nevada is shutting down all its coal-fired power plants, and by law, NVE must replace that power source with more renewable facilities. You know, like those gigantic mirror-driven solar complexes that are cooking birds in mid-flight. How much will all that new hardware cost? Billions? Will NVE start passing that expense on to you? Don't pay for everybody else's solar. Get your own. Go solar without killing birds and take control of your energy bill with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. Get tax breaks, big monthly energy savings, and get something no one else is offering. A high-tech new device that protects all your home electronics and appliances free. And it comes with a $25,000 home appliance protection warranty. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Get tax incentives and an outrageous $25,000 home appliance protection warranty. Call 1-800-MY-SOLAR for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
This is Dave Krieger of Haynes & Krieger Law. Join me every Thursday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. along with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans as we discuss bankruptcy, foreclosure, and student loan questions. Every Thursday morning on 720 KDWN.
I'm attorney Glenn Lerner. Did you know Metro is no longer responding to non-injury car wrecks? The problem is most people don't realize that they're hurt until days later. Even if you don't think you're hurt at the time of the wreck or don't have a police report, you are still entitled to medical treatment and the money you deserve for your injuries. Just because Metro doesn't show up to your wreck doesn't stop you from filing a claim. If the police don't show up, call us immediately for a free consultation and we'll advise you of your rights.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
It's a new year, so you deserve a new you. Wouldn't it be nice to finally quit worrying about crooked or missing teeth? If you've been putting it off for a while because of the cost, then you should see Dr. Miracondia and his staff at AQ Denture in Henderson, because AQ stands for affordable quality. Dental implants, dentures, or dental services are more affordable than you think. Call AQ today at 702-565-6000. That's 702-565-6000 and smile again. Call AQ 702-565-6000.
Dave Carney here, inviting you to the all-new Live Las Vegas with me and my new co-host, Chad Forster. Every Friday from 1 till 2, Chad and I break down top Vegas news, sports from around the country, and entertainment in a really fun way. Yeah, that's right, talk radio can actually be fun. Live Las Vegas every Friday at 1.
Now back to Pawn Talk Live with your hosts Michael Mack and Dave Carney.
And welcome back to Pawn Talk Live here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney, joined by the owner of the world-famous Max Pawn, Michael Mack. Guys, really great show here today on Pawn Talk Live, and want to thank all of our listeners and all of our callers for giving us a buzz with some really, really cool collectibles. And I got to tell you, Michael, Carrie's collection, okay, first of all, the $quarter stamp, okay, is something that in and of itself could probably be worth, several hundred, maybe $1,000. I don't know. I mean, Carson City history going back over 100+ years. But then the Tony Spilotro wedding album. I tell you what, that is like hen's teeth. I don't know how he got this, and he said a family member gave it to him. So Kerry might be kind of a connected guy. And Kerry, we respect you, buddy. If that's the case, This
he
thing
gets the whole treasure chest, all the prizes.
Just remember, Carrie, they are a licensed firearm dealer, so be careful. No, it's really awesome stuff. We had Joe Perlman giving us a call earlier as well. Bob Christensen and Mark Johnson, all really, really great questions, guys. Joining us now, though, on our Max Prize hotline is an auctioneer expert that goes back to the Missouri School of Auctioneering and was one of the founders, actually, of Antiques Roadshow. This is Andy on the line with us. Andy, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great, and how are you guys?
We are fantastic. Been looking so forward to hearing from you today, and thanks for holding on so long with us.
That's okay. I'm very, very patient.
Well, Andy, it was a pleasure to meet you. We met, weeks ago at the Sun City garage sale. Tell the listeners a little bit about the garage sale, and since then, Andy and I have had a chance to talk, and we may do something together, Dave, that we've talked about for years, the world's largest garage sale.
Oh, boy.
I think that's fantastic. I think it's a great idea. Well, Michael and I sort of met at the garage sale here in Sun City on the 26th of April. My husband and I were very busy selling furniture and toys and antiques and also talking and giving people ideas what things were worth and where they could find certain items that they were looking for. Michael came up and Michael and I started talking. He sort of introduced himself. I was so busy. And he gave me his card and he said he would love to interview me. Well, I thought that was kind of funny, being from Boston, and somebody in Las Vegas actually wanted to interview somebody from Boston.
Hey, it wasn't my idea. I'm a Laker fan.
She's a Yankee fan. Let's just clarify that.
Wow,
right there.
a Bostonian that's a Yankee fan. You really never got over the Babe Ruth thing. She's like, I'm going back to history. They traded our guy.
I'm one of the biggest Yankee baseball fans there is. I used to work at Yankee Stadium, and when we moved to Vegas, a gentleman by the name of Derek Jeter gave me a gift in a box, and I thought he was giving me a Yankee Stadium wrap.
Wow.
Because it had holes in it and a pink bow on it. Well, when I opened it up, it was a little kitten that was born in Yankee Stadium, and she lives here in Vegas with us, and her name is Jeter.
Oh, my
She
gosh.
got in on the invitation to the wedding, which is not going to take place, but she was told she could bring her mom and dad.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, first of all, I love the name here, Jeter, for a cat. And let me just ask you here, because you brought it up. I mean, are you sad to see Derek go? This is his final season. He's doing his farewell tour.
Actually, I am in a sense, because I think what he has brought to sports, to the young people, to even people of all ages and all team favorites. He has been outstanding. I think, and I sort of know a little bit of gossip, he won't be leaving the Yankees. George took very good care of him in his will. And I think the position he'll get after retiring will be absolutely where he belongs.
Wow, that's so. You're telling me Brian Cashman needs to look over his shoulder here. We got a new GM coming to the Yankees, and Joe Girardi, don't take that seat away. You got to keep it warm for Jeter. Well, see, what I really love, Andy, is that when we have a Bostonian that likes Derek Jeter, we get to hear it as Jeter. It's Jeter, and usually they're jeering the man; they're not cheering him. But great,
I know.
Great to hear. Now, let me ask you, Andy, because you've been in the auctioning business, for more than 40 years. You went to the Missouri School of Auctioneering. What are some of what are some of the things that you have seen that have just blown you away?
Well, I think by traveling the United States, the different ways that auctioneers present themselves and present auctions. Of course, I'm a New Englander, an old-time auctioneer. The gentleman that trained me started sort of the original road show.
Wow.
I was on the show with him for 5 years. We won Emmys. He insisted that I go to Missouri Auctioneer School, which is still the biggest, and learn from bottom up in auctioneering cattle who sort of smell sometimes, up to homes, to mink coats, to diamond rings, to dishes, to animals, dogs, cats, anything. And it has changed a lot. Today, you don't talk fast. You don't describe as fast as we used to do. That has changed a lot. Out here, it's a little different. Back east, it's the old-fashioned auctioneers in an open field on a Saturday. Bring a picnic lunch. Go home with great buys. Of course, the merchandise that's auctioned off out here is different than back east, too. This is more of a throwaway society out here. Things come, things go. Back east, they're held on to because they're heirlooms. Biggest buyers back east is Europeans, Canadians, South Americans. Out here, it's California, Arizona.
Hey, California is basically like, South American, European, all combined together. It's its own country. There's 34 million people there.
It is, and I'm surprised at a lot of things that they buy. I am glad to see that they're holding on to a lot of the traditions. Prices in California are much higher at auctions than they are on the East Coast. That's why a lot of people rent U-Hauls and go back east to buy. This is the big season in auctions back east. And so I went to auctioneer school in Missouri and was taught all the little secrets. Women weren't in auctioneering back when I went, but George Michael, who was my mentor, insisted because I had a little bit of comedy and a little bit of fun, and I sort of caught on really fast that I should go there. He sent me there 6 weeks. I learned to talk really, really fast, and I still talk fast, but it's not the auctioneer talking.
Well, we're gonna have to hear you do the auction. We're gonna also ask you, Andy, to be a regular collectible corner expert for us because you and I hit it off. So we're gonna have you in studio with us, and Dave and I will get with you in the next few weeks, and we there's so much you can share with the Las Vegas community, and the Las Vegas community is just thriving. Pawn Talk Live has been on. We're going on our 4th year, and we have people that call in, and there are items out there that are collectibles, but people don't know who to go to, and so now we have Andy on our team, and we're so excited about having you, and then we can talk about our world's largest garage sale. Dave and I have been talking about it for 2 years now.
Well, the WLGS is awesome,
and I think Las Vegas needs it. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that live in gated communities, apartments, opportunities not to have garage sales. So we plan to have a safe environment, a big venue where you take 8 ATM and take credit cards, and people can sell their wares and have it verified and authenticated. And Andy, I'm so excited about doing it with you.
Yeah, Andy.
Oh, I'm excited too.
It's going to be fantastic, and obviously any benefit we can bring here to the listeners of Pawn Talk Live here in Las Vegas and around the world is what we want to do. And I've got to ask you here before we let you go, because we're coming up to the end of the program, about one of the items that we got contacted about today. A gentleman named Kerry Moonjin gave us a call here, Andy. I think you probably heard it, and he was talking about a family photo album from one of the most notorious mobsters in history.
That.
Now, let me ask you, in your experience as an auctioneer, what would an item like that fetch in the appropriate market?
Well, you want to stay west of the Mississippi because that's where your big history is in and something like that. And, of course, you have Oscar Goodman, who I think is absolutely wonderful. When I came out here, he said, you're going to learn, so you're going to move. So I had to learn about Vegas. I think the Mob Museum would be the perfect place for something like that. Or on Oscar's coffee table.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking big money on that. If you took it back in the New Jersey, New York area, you also would get good money on that because the gangsters and the mobsters and everything came to Vegas from that end.
That's
of the
right.
country.
They were all New York guys. Brooklyn. All right, Michael.
They were.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for being with us, and we thank all the listeners for listening to Pawn Talk Live. Dave, Tammy, it's great having you. But I have to give one last shout out. Riley Ian Gold, 5th generation pawnbroker, was born today. 8.8 pounds to my friend Seth Gold, and congratulations, Seth and family.
Oh, that's great. A new addition to this business is always welcome.
Absolutely. Right. All right, guys, fun show here today, Live Las Vegas and Pawn Talk Live for everybody here at the staff. Angie, Jim Dallas, for Michael Mack, for Tammy, I'm Dave Carney. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Bye now.
Luxury shops in Las Vegas aren't new. What is new, however, is luxury meeting value. At the world-famous Max Pawn, we specialize in marrying the two. With some of the finest selections of watches, designer handbags, sunglasses, and more, the luxury never stops. Every day, new items are added in-store and online. From Gucci and Chanel to Hermes and Louis Vuitton, Max Pawn delivers all the top luxury brands at a fraction of the price. Visit us online at maxpawnlv.com or browse our showroom in Las Vegas. The world-famous Max Pawn, where luxury meets value.
Farmers Insurance believes that the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. To find your local agent and get smarter about your insurance, call 888-96-FARMERS. That's 888-96-FARMERS.
If you're looking to lower your mortgage payments and been turned down elsewhere, you need to listen to Mortgage Makeovers with Ken Michaels this Sunday from 6 to 7 a.m. Mortgage Makeovers with Ken Michaels here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
News Talk 720 KDWN.